right, we're here to do some repair work on the insured's house. Mr. Charles here. I'm gonna be doing all the repair work here. But for the beginning stages, when we first do one, we like to film it. Just show Mr. Charles what's going on up here and how we're doing the actual repair work. So he knows everything that's going on with his house as far as like the damages and how they're getting replaced, so he knows he's back to normal and everything. So we like to film the first part of it. But basically, just to give a quick introduction, these are the tools that I'm going to be using. It's what I'm most comfortable with. For example, this is a flat pry bar. This is what I'm going to do to unseal everything. So you're going to see that I'm going to start unsealing from the bottom and working my way up. And then I like to do a couple of tests that you're going to see throughout, and I'll explain it once it gets there. And of course, I'm going to be using the roof snake just for the nail portion of it. It's typically meant for 3-tab shingles, but for securing the nails, it's really good. So this is what I feel comfortable with doing. And I just hammer on top of here like so. You'll be able to see that throughout the video. But to start off with, to make sure that we're doing the repair work in the right conditions, I need to check the temperature. And I'm gonna screenshot all this so you can see what temperature it is out here while we're doing it. Okay, so right now we're at 43, which is good. Manufacturer tells you to do it at the 40-degree mark, which is okay. So we're in decent conditions right now to start doing this repair work, and that's not a problem. Another thing I like to do while I'm going through it, just to check, is to see what type of granule loss we're dealing with. Are the granules intact, or are they not intact? So how much care do I need to take with this repair work? So I'll just lightly brush here just to kind of see. You got some granules falling, but no really big issues here at all. So that's not a problem. So the manipulation of the shingles shouldn't cause any damage, but we'll find out and see throughout. I just like to mark these 2 X's on the side just to show a controlled area that I'm working in. Obviously this is the shingle that we're replacing right here. As you can see the wind damages, creasing, tears here, missing taper tooth. As far as that one, there's some missing taper tooth as well. So this definitely needs to be replaced and put brand new. So we're gonna find out there with that. With that being said, I'll walk it through as I'm doing this. So I'm gonna start unsealing at the bottom first. This one should be completely unsealed because it is a wind damaged one. Top one's pretty easy too. Get this unsealed. Okay. Now I'll start working at the top. We got a light tear there. Let's see. I like to take pictures of things as they go along and try not to move forward. Okay, so we'll be able to show you that. So, slight tear there. Nothing detrimental, but we'll see what it's like. And we got a little bit of a tear there too. Like I said, not much. We'll find out as we go along. So the next thing that's got to happen is I got to pop these nails. So let's see. There should be at least 4 nails in each shingle. That's usually manufacturer specifications, and it's what we're going to do when we install a new one. Okay. So in order to get the shingle out, I got to remove 2 courses here and here. So I got to manipulate 2 steps up above the shingle that's got to get replaced. Got a little bit of issues there. The nail wasn't overdriven, but as I'm removing it and trying to get the nail from not being secure to the shingle, shot through the shingle. So that's usually not a detrimental thing, but it is something that we at least need to make Charles aware of. careful right here because of those tears that have happened. If I push up any more, then more than likely it will start tearing a little bit more than what it already is. Make sure we clean up all these nails throughout the process. It should remove now, just like that. Let's see. This is a pretty old shingle for a couple of reasons. Typically it will have the manufacturer's label on there, especially for like this sealant strip that you see here on top. So it's difficult to say what exactly it is. It might be an Owens cornering just because of the shading that's got going on. But today we're going to replace it with this weathered wood shingle. That's somewhat similar in color here. Let's see. Some minor material transfer going on, which isn't a huge deal because we are replacing this shingle, but we do want to make you aware that what the precautions are along with tier 2. Now let's install this new shingle. Alright, we got to make sure it lines up with the nail zone line and the exposure as well. Line up exactly like the other one at all. We'll check on that. Get some measurements to see what the difference is. But there is a difference in the nail zone line and the exposure as well. But we'll check up on that. Let's line up the best we can so we can secure this and not have a wind damage shingle on this roof anymore. Alright, now is the point where I will use the roof snake. Like I said, 4 shingles, or 4 nails per shingle. Helps me not lift it too high. But I need to go high enough so I can secure it right there in the nail zone where it's supposed to be. Or the sweet spot, as some of the manufacturers would say. That part is secure now. I got some granule loss going on right here at the edges when I'm using this roof snake. Don't really like to see that. There's a lot of chipping on the edges. We don't really like to see that at all. Some right there as well. And we got one right here. It's like a tear. This is right before we get to this next section right here that we have to secure. I really don't like the chipping that I'm seeing. So I'm gonna try to go away from the roof snake because the way this works is it has to sit flush with the edge here. That's why it's got this straight part and this dip, so you're able to secure it right there in the sweet spot it's supposed to be. So we're going to attempt to try with just the hammer. So in order to do that, I have to have a full degree up so I can get to the nail. As you can see, this is very difficult to lift up right now. It's very stiff, but I'm gonna have to lift it up because it has to be at least this high. And I feel comfortable with doing this. I just don't feel comfortable using the roof snake right now because it's causing a lot of chipping. So we'll see how this goes. I have to do it the best way I can, but this is extremely stiff. I'm doing short hits so I don't hit the top of this. Already causing some popping in the taper tooth parts. All right, that one's secure. Let's see what I notice here. All right, we've got these, some people call them gator tooths, gate tooths, taper tooths. These are loosening up now, as you can see, as I'm popping this shingle up. That's usually not a good thing either. So I use the roof snake and I've got chipping along the edges. I'm using just my hand to pull through up with this, and now these are delaminating. That's not a good thing either. Well, let's see. Let's try something else then with this roof snake. See how far back I can go without it sitting flush. Let's see. Maybe I can do it at an angle here. It's still causing chipping right there on the edges. Has some chipping, we don't need that. I said, you can see how high it is. I need to go up higher in order to do this with the hammer, but you're allowed to do that in the repair. All right, that is secure. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 nails right there, securing that one. So here's what we got going on. I already took pictures of the edges, but now we have these taper tooths right here delaminating. We don't need that. It's usually not a good thing, not extremely detrimental. Of course, I already took pictures of the edges here. This shingle is not really compatible with the current one that's existing on the roof. We'll get more overview pictures of that. See a mass difference. This is red, this is the brown. This is probably used to be a weatherwood at one point, but we'll figure that out. And of course, we got tears right here in the corner. So we'll get all this packaged up and let Charles know. This might need to be an anomaly, so we're going to go on the other side, completely different facet, facing a different direction, to see if this is a consistent thing or is this something just with this facet right here in this section. But we're going to go ahead and stop that, and we're going to go on to the next section.